So that was a powerful video of the young man singing. And it was powerful, I think, precisely because it caused its audience to feel something on a topic, on an important topic. And that topic is racism. So, in light of last week's events, how do you think we should solve racism? What's the solution? And what's your call to action? You can either chat in the box or come off mute, which I prefer. So I'm going to pause the video here. Let's open up the question. What's your solution for racism? Okay, thanks. But look, I apologize. I just set you up with an impossible question. What's the solution to racism? It's too complex to present it like, here's a problem and now here's a solution. Well, let's watch how Trevor Noah handles this question. Wait for it. He's coming soon.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's really interesting about what's happening in America right now is that a lot of people don't seem to realize how dominoes connect, how one piece knocks another piece that knocks another piece, and in the end creates a giant wave.
So if you're working on a meaningful topic that's appropriate to your level of thinking, then you're probably dealing with complex issues with a wide range of evidence. So when you're describing what a problem is, it can be like a bunch of dominoes that connect. And as a thinker, your job is to connect the dots for your reader. Educating your reader on the complexity of your topic is your job. So I'm going to skip ahead. Oops.
We've all seen the video now.
Whoops, hold on.
It was a world where you quickly realize that while everyone is facing the battle against coronavirus, Black people in America are still facing the battle against racism and coronavirus. And the reason I say it's a domino is because think about how many Black Americans just have read and seen the news of how Black people are disproportionately affected by coronavirus. And not because of something inherently inside Black people, but rather because of the lives Black people have lived in America for so long. Coronavirus exposed all of it.
Okay, so here Trevor Noah uses the word battle. And the reason he calls it a domino effect is you can see how Black people are disproportionately affected by coronavirus. So now he's saying why it's a problem, and I think that's why he's using the word battle, another word for conflict. Black people are disproportionately affected by a lot of things that the coronavirus has now exposed. Poor health resources, police brutality, and white power and privilege. Let me skip ahead to another part.
Think to yourselves, or maybe it would help you if you think about that unease that you felt watching that target being looted. Try to imagine how it must feel for Black Americans when they watch themselves being looted every single day, because that's fundamentally what's happening in America. Police in America are looting Black bodies. And I know someone might think that's an extreme phrase, but it's not, because here's the thing I think a lot of people don't realize. George Floyd.
Oops. Okay. Be right back. There we go. So with a really complex topic, Just saying, here's a solution to this super complex topic could sound actually superficial. Like, what's the solution for racism in America? I mean, this is a problem that infiltrates every aspect of society, including school and our classrooms. What Trevor says here is not, here's the solution, but rather he says, think about it. What it feels like to be looted. Think about it. Think about what it feels like. Try to imagine what it's like for Black Americans when they watch themselves being looted every day, he says. So he asks you to think about it, asks you to identify with the feelings, and asks you to imagine. Trevor Noah's call to action is not an answer. It's not a solution. His call to action is a request to start thinking, feeling, and imagining in different ways. So let's take a look at how some students in the past have sought to persuade audiences on the complex topic of racism. So I want to show you a Prezi from a former student of mine, and she was in 6th grade. Get my face out of the way. That's okay. Racism is not allowed by Mary Banks. So I notice right away that Mary starts off with the what. Now remember, our projects are the what is the problem, why is it important, how can it be solved. So she's starting off with the what. What is racism? She leads to a definition of racism, and she gives a definition to educate her viewer. She follows up with a why people are racist. And she leads to why it's a problem. Racism contributes to poverty and lack of resources and unequal incarceration. Finally, she ends, rather, with a call to action. In this case, it's not a solution, but what she wants us to think about. Take this back now. Now, what could have been improved? I want to stop the video here and ask you to chat in the box. It was a pretty good report. No, like I said, it was made by a former student, a 6th grader, and not bad for a 6th grader. But what could have made it better? How could she have made it more effective? What things, I'm going to ask you, would you advise this student, if she were here today, what would you advise her to add to it to make it 8th grade level? Go on, chat in the box. What could she have included? I'll stop the video here. Great, thanks. Now, if you knew Mary, you would know that she had a pretty strong voice. She was a great out loud talker, so convincing, and I feel like her voice came through here. She has a super strong voice, and she had a strong use of pictures and images. But some of you may have noticed she needs some more direct evidence, some expert quotes, facts, statistics, like graphs or charts. She could have used some more background information. Her what and why section is basically just her own opinion and perspective. These are solid, but she needs to frame her perspective with evidence that educates the viewer. Okay, let's check out this group of 8th grade students. All right, give me a second. Un momento. Right, here we go, y'all. All right, this is what you're aiming for. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to what this group is doing. This group of 6 students now, but this is what you're aiming for. The first 6 slides, 6 of them, are all what? giving lots of background information. By giving all this background information, these students understand that educating the viewer is their top priority. Now, educating the viewer does three things. It draws the reader into the topic. It gives the reader the necessary information to go deeper into the presentation. And finally, educating the reader builds trust. If you're informing me, I trust you more because you're establishing yourself as an authority. Now, second, the next 4 slides cover why this is an important topic. These students ask, why is this currently a big issue? And they elaborate on the impacts and effects of racism. Now, after after this, they ask the audience's opinion just to engage the audience. And then after asking your opinion, there are 3 slides of direct quotes. These are called testimonials. And they're different. There are a range of different voters from Democrat, Republican, moderate, independent, radical. Now, these 5 pages of these testimonials are followed by 5 pages of facts and statistics. And each of the facts and stats include analyses, what the graphs and charts are showing. So when you use statistics, graphs, charts, you want to explain what they're showing to your viewer. You're not just throwing numbers out there. You want to say how they connect to your topic, how they help illustrate the problem. Now, toward the end of the presentation, the audience is engaged emotionally through videos and personal experiences.
You know what President Obama said? That everyone who's here in America and enjoying our America should speak English.
I'm sorry, but they're completely allowed to use their own language. Feel free to please leave.
I want to hear it.
We have a freedom to use my own language.
I'm asking you to please leave.
Dashcam footage has emerged showing a police lieutenant in the US telling a woman during a traffic stop that police only kill black people.
Use your phone. It's in your lap right there.
I just don't want to put my hands down. I'm really sorry. I'm just.
You're just really drunk.
No. I've just seen way too many videos of problems.
But you're not black. Remember, we only kill black people. Yeah, we only kill black people, right? All the videos you've seen, have you seen white people get killed? You have.
So at the end of the presentation, the students engage you emotionally through videos, personal experiences, and by stirring your emotions, you're now ready to hear the call to action. Call to action is what you should do or think. Now, on a complex topic like this, there isn't just one thing to do. There may be myriad things to do, number of converging things to do, different separate actions. It may also be a question of changing your thinking a little bit at a time or through great leaps. But remember, when you have a complex problem, the solution or call to action may simply be, how can we change your thinking? So, what can you do? This week, I want you to start submitting your rough drafts. I want you to submit them to Schoology, and I'll give you feedback. And I'm going to be looking for how you develop your topic. I'm going to be looking for 7 specific things. I want you to persuade me by educating me, specifically through these elements: direct evidence, expert quotes, facts and statistics, elaboration and analysis, emotional appeal, building trust, and a call to action. Now, this video will be posted on Schoology for your review. But what questions do you have right now?